Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us for today's Ethanol Producer Magazine 2014 editorial outlook. My name is Tim Ports. I am the executive editor of Ethanol Producer Magazine, and I'm joined today by John Nelson, the marketing director here at BBI International. I want to give you a quick rundown on what we expect to accomplish in the next 30 minutes or so. In a very short amount of time, I'll be handing over the call to John, and he'll be walking us through the audience breakdown for Ethanol Producer Magazine from a print perspective. Where does Ethanol Producer Magazine go? Who reads it? Et cetera, et cetera. After that, we'll move into a rundown of our online presence with ethanolproducer.com. We've amassed a very strong online following, and we certainly want to make you aware of that. After John covers a little bit about our reach, he'll hand the call back over to me, at which point I will take you into the pages of Ethanol Producer Magazine and show you first how the title is organized. How do we attract the readership of the men and women that work at ethanol production facilities in this country? How do we hold them on a month-to-month basis? After that short explanation, I'll move into a month-by-month rundown of what we expect to cover from an editorial perspective in 2014, as well as how we paired that content with really valuable bonus distributions. I wanted to make everyone aware that we will be highlighting those bonus distributions, and I strongly encourage you to think about that when you're making decisions on your buying in terms of your advertising participation in the 2014 year. We've built some really compelling bonus distributions this year, and I want everyone to take note of that. Once I run through that, I'll turn the call back over to John. He's going to end our call with an exclusive offer for attendees of today's webinar, and you're going to want to stick around for that. Again, we're going to take about a half hour to do this. We're going to move fast and quick, and without further ado, I will hand the call over to John Nelson. Go ahead, John.
Thank you, Tim. Hello. I appreciate everyone taking the time to be on today's webinar. As a marketing, sales, business development, or advertising professional, or even an owner of a company, we are constantly looking for cost-effective ways to promote our products or services to the right audience. If you're currently in or looking to explore the ethanol industry market, Ethanol Producer Magazine, the longest-running ethanol magazine now entering its 19th year, is the industry's most recognizable publication and offers the best opportunity to gain mass exposure in an extremely niche market. Ethanol Producer Magazine's print edition is distributed to 5,000 readers each month. More importantly, 941 of those readers are ethanol professionals from future or existing production facilities. And in addition to the 941 ethanol producers from around the globe, monthly we mail copies of the magazine to every U.S. ethanol production facility. We guarantee that multiple copies of the magazine go to each ethanol production facility every month. As you can see on the slide, with readers in 46 countries, our circulation consists primarily of biofuels producers who represent 24% of our readership base. The graph also shows the next types of companies subscribed. They are equipment and service providers, consultants, technology providers, academics, farmers, and so on. Ethanol Producer Magazine is the best platform you can add to your marketing mix if you're looking to reach ethanol producers and biofuels industry professionals. Next slide. We are extremely proud of the magazine's web presence. Through the use of our ongoing stories being posted to the site, search engine optimization, content from maps, blogs, the ethanol store, and the ethanol industry directory, we have increased our traffic to the numbers you see on this slide. These numbers are based on Google Analytics and were last updated June 2013. Also, if you are interested in getting even more specifics, please contact an account representative. We are more than happy to share any information with you. Now, for some updated numbers to date, in 2013, we are averaging nearly 74,000 page views or impressions each month and 42,000 visitors per month. Based on the slide, 7.3% of our visitors are on mobile devices. We are now seeing this increase to 11.9%. And we contribute this increase to the stronger use of mobile devices and tablets. We've also added stronger search features and a recommended article section on the website that helps visitors find the most relevant stories, in the end keeping visitors on the site longer. So what does that mean to you as an advertiser? It hopefully means if you purchase online advertising, more eyeballs will be on your ad, the impressions go up, clicks to your website increase, and hopefully you gain more business. Next slide, please. We have visitors to our website from around the globe. The slide in front of you shows the top 10 visits by country. Clearly, the U.S. is at the top by a large margin, with Canada, the U.K., India, Brazil following. The next graph demonstrates each country's pages per visit rate. Visitors from Japan actually visit more pages than visitors from other countries when they visit ethanolproducer.com, and this is followed by Brazil. So this is demonstrating that many companies from around the globe, not just the U.S., are looking to understand the latest ethanol technology and policy. Next slide, please. So why are we showing you a slide on social media? This slide is here to make you aware that we are actively promoting our stories on all the sites you see listed. And based on Google Analytics, we are seeing traffic come in from Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Blogger, Google+, and so on. If you are currently following this industry, you've probably seen many of our posts. Every story, every important policy change, every event is posted to these sites. To give you an example, during the past 2 years, we have tweeted 3,399 times and accumulated 3,529 Twitter followers. The goal of all this activity is to bring visitors back to ethanolproducer.com to read our stories and see your online advertisements or print advertisements in our digital issue of the magazine. Now, before I hand it over to Tim, one point that I believe many of you would find extremely beneficial is that we have an outstanding art department that helps produce this magazine. When you purchase an advertisement with Ethanol Producer Magazine, you gain access to the art department to help you design and create your advertisements free of charge. It can be a huge cost savings to you, the advertiser, and that point many times goes under the radar. With that said, I appreciate your time and now hand it over to Tim Ports.
Can't thank you enough, John. I really appreciate that. And as I mentioned at the beginning of this call, one of the things that we really strive to do with Ethanol Producer Magazine is create a print event that draws employees of production facilities in and holds their attention once we have them there. And we do that in a number of ways. I'm just about to talk about themes, but before I do, I want to talk about some of the components of the issue that show up month after month after month that holds people's attention. The first thing that I want to point out is that the incredible inclusion of all industry and association professionals inside of our pages. Every month, Bob Deneen from the Renewable Fuels Association joins us and shares a column. Every month, a representative from Growth Energy shares a column with us. In this instance, the retired General Wesley Clark provided that insight for Growth Energy. Every month, a representative from the American Coalition for Ethanol shares a column with us. So regardless of your association affiliation, your leadership is inside of the pages every month at Ethanol Producer Magazine. In addition to those items, we have an events calendar. We have news about various transactions in the space in our business brief section. We have a commodities report. So, again, regardless of your position inside of an ethanol plant, there's something for you inside of the pages of Ethanol Producer Magazine. That said, I'd like to move into a month-by-month rundown. Two things that I will highlight for each slide in each month in the next 12 slides. talk about the theme for the month, and we talk about the bonus distributions. Both are worth thinking about. Again, as I said, every month we try and create a title that's relevant and engaging for anybody, regardless of their position at an ethanol plant. The themes we deploy to make sure that we're covering those sort of landmark and hallmark issues month after month inside of our pages. So let's talk about January. January is our lab management issue, quality analysis, and quality control. Real quickly, bonus distribution, the Iowa Renewable Fuel Summit down in Des Moines, some 800 attendees there last year. The Energy Generation Conference, 1,600 folks at that particular event, and the Cooling Tower Institute Annual Conference, 400 folks. Last January, I traveled to Corn Plus, a production facility in Winnebago, Minnesota, and there I met with Courtney Trask and did a Q&A, actually, that ran in this issue. And what Courtney helped me understand is that labs are the nerve center of ethanol production facilities. The first number that a general manager wants to know every morning is the ethanol conversion rate. Are we making ethanol at the rate that we want to? Is the plant sick in any way? Is it not generating ethanol at the rate that we expect? And if so, why? And we need to understand that as quickly as we possibly can. So ethanol production facilities want to be kept abreast of the latest advances in lab equipment, lab process, and for that reason, we continue to include lab management as a theme, and we open our 2014 editorial year with that in mind. Moving to February. February is included in the conference bags of the National Ethanol Conference this year in Orlando, Florida. Some 1,200 expected attendees at that event. And the National Ethanol Conference has amassed a pretty great following of board members and marketers of ethanol. And for that reason, we pair our market issue, growing the market, with this particular bonus distribution. Consider this. In 2011, there were 134 billion gallons of gasoline consumed, and the Energy Information Agency predicts that gasoline consumption in this country is actually going to slow, largely because of the increased CAFE standards. So as a result, the market at E10 is shrinking for ethanol. So for this industry to grow, higher blends of ethanol will have to find its way to the marketplace, E15, E20, E30, and export markets. We know producers are thinking about this. We know producers are anxiously awaiting the opening of more markets to see the more widespread adoption of E15, and in February, we'll cover these issues. Our March issue is a bit of a change from 2013. Every year we have a corn issue. This year, in 2013, it was in October. We're moving our corn coverage to March, and we're going to focus more on an outlook, acres that anticipate to be planted. And we're doing this for a very, very good reason, and that's this bonus distribution right here at the Commodity Classic. The Commodity Classic, some 5,000 attendees, and those attendees are principally charged with growing the commodity crops in this country, including corn. So if your audience is in addition to being an ethanol production audience, is also a corn production audience, you're going to find that particular bonus distribution very compelling. Another reason that this corn issue is so important, again, we've moved it from October to March, but consider this. At current corn prices, a 100 million gallon plant will spend over $150 million on corn every year. A 60 million gallon plant spends up to $94 million on corn. Ethanol producers are obsessed with corn prices, and corn outlooks, and for that reason, we know they'll open the March 2014 issue and spend some time in its pages. Let's move to April. April is our cellulosic and advanced ethanol integration and construction issue. It will be distributed at the International Biomass Conference and Expo, or BBI event, that attracts nearly 1,600 professionals. There's currently 20 million gallons of installed cellulosic ethanol capacity in North America and another 113 million gallons of capacity, cellulosic capacity, under construction. Most of these gallons are scheduled to come online in 2014, and we'll catch up with these projects, see how they're doing in their commercialization schedules, see if they're commissioning their facilities, and report all of that back to the readers of Ethanol Producer Magazine. This is a very, very closely watched component of our industry. Our critics and fans alike are waiting to see, can we deliver on cellulosic gallons? So we know that this will be a popular issue with a great bonus distribution. Let's move into May. May, we're focusing on corn oil, probably ethanol's #1 hottest co-product going right now. In our May issue, we reported that 70% of the corn ethanol industry currently extracts corn oil, and that number is rising, and for good reason. Industry analysts suggest that corn oil delivers a net back profit of nearly $700 per ton. Put another way, corn oil on average delivers around 3 cents of revenue for each gallon of ethanol production, or $1.8 million in revenue for a 60 million gallon facility. Industry insiders know that in certain months, corn oil revenues were the difference between operating at a profit or a loss. Just a really, really attractive list of bonus distributions. A hotel room drop at the International Fuel Ethanol Workshop and Expo. Some 2,000 folks attend that. So after our opening festivities and first day of content, attendees return to their hotel rooms and find Ethanol Producer Magazine, this issue, waiting for them. Additionally, a new one this year for us, the American Oil Chemists Society annual meeting, some 1,500 attendees, and then the Corn Utilization and Technology Conference, very specific audience there, 400 attendees. So really a great pairing of, again, team and bonus distribution. Let's move into June. And June is our financial performance, accounting, RINs, margin management. Bonus distribution, probably the best bonus distribution on the 2014 calendar. This is included in conference bags at the International Fuel Ethanol Workshop and Expo. The 30th anniversary event this year, we're expecting a big jump in attendees, but last year we amassed 2,000 attendees to that event. And then to put a finer point on a bonus distribution here, this particular issue will be distributed also at Christensen and Associates Annual Financial Conference, which is largely populated with CFOs, general managers, board folks that are specifically enlisted to drive the financial endeavors of those facilities. The ethanol plants are for-profit investors. They have investors, shareholders, and employees who all expect a return on their investment of time and money. We've designed this issue to appeal to the broad spectrum of plant employees, but with a focus on CFOs, general managers, and board members. Again, great pairing, theme, and bonus distribution. Let's talk about our distillers' grains production technology and markets issue in July. We're mailing this to all the attendees of the International Fuel Ethanol Workshop and Expo. And just I want to point something out, that actually the number of attendees, and this is something that probably John could circle back with all of us on, the number of attendees to the FEW that already get Ethanol Producer Magazine is not as high as you'd think. So this is new eyeballs. These are folks that don't typically get Ethanol Producer Magazine. So this FEW bonus distribution that shows up, again, now 3 different issues are impacted by the FEW. May with the hotel room drop, June in the bags, and July is a bonus mailing. So fully 1/4 of Ethanol Producer Magazine does get out to that audience, and that's a really important step for us. Let's talk a little bit about co-products. At one time, co-products represented somewhere around 17% of total plant revenue. So they've always been important, but that number's rising, and now 25% of plant revenues come from co-products like distillers' grains. We talked about corn oil earlier, but still 85 to 90% of the co-product revenue emanates from distillers' grains. So distillers' grains, Often, if you don't have a quality distillers grains production and marketing program at your facility, you probably don't have a profitable plant. So distillers grains, monumentally important. Moving on to August, yield maximization and plant optimization. This goes to the American Coalition for Ethanol annual conference, some 200 attendees there. Ethanol plants do take opportunities to optimize their facility. In the August 2013 issue of EPM, we featured a story about a Poet ethanol facility in Macon, Missouri that jumped on an opportunity to spend $14 million on plant upgrades when local corn inventories grew tight and prices increased. Ethanol plants are continually looking to push the limits with yield, and for that reason, we know they'll look at the pages of the August 2014 Ethanol Producer magazine. Speaking of opportunities to reinvest in the facility, the age-old question of, well, how is that all paid for, is asked and answered in the September 2014 issue. In addition to project finance, plant project finance, how do I pay for this if I'd like to? What about mergers and acquisitions? Clearly, those stories will be reflective of the merger and acquisition activity in the space at the time, and I don't know what that will be. I just know that as those types of stories ramp up in the summer and late spring, they'll be earmarked for coverage in the September issue. The other thing, what are these facilities worth as they look to change hands, as they look to be acquired? What's the best practice for ethanol producers as they look to ensure that the asset that they have is worth as much as it can possibly be, not only for resale, but to leverage equity as they look to finance new projects? So really important thing, again, general managers, board members, CFOs probably spend a lot of time with this particular issue. Moving into October, the biomass feedstocks, cultivation, harvest, handling, and preparation. If ethanol is to have a future as an industry, of course, we have to graduate from cornstarch as our chief input. We're seeing that already with projects like the Poet DSM facility in Emmitsburg, DuPont Cellulosic in Nevada, Iowa, the Abengoa facility in Hugoton, and all of those are using baled corn stover, but that's not where the biomass feedstock story ends. What about energy crops? What about sorghums? What about energy canes? What about algae? All of these types of feedstocks that can end up as ethanol will be covered in the October 2014 and nicely paired with the National Advanced Biofuels Conference and Expo as well. So strong issue, an issue that we have a lot of fun putting together, a little bit more looking kind of further down the road, and an issue we're really proud of. Moving into November, plant maintenance, chemicals, and cleaning. In the 2013 plant maintenance issue, Holly Jessen reported that in most dry grind ethanol plants, clean-in-place technology is deployed after each batch is fermented. In some cases, nearly 120 times per year per fermenter. So plants spend money on plant maintenance, they spend money on chemicals, and they spend money on cleaning. It's an important part of what they do, and we're looking forward to tackling that issue in the November iteration of Ethanol Producer magazine. Rounding out our 2014 calendar, plant safety and emergency response. We've talked a lot about value and assets as we've covered these other months. The number one asset at any ethanol production facility, of course, is the safety and well-being of the employees that work there. We had a tremendous response from this year's safety and emergency response issue, and we're looking forward to covering this very, very crucial issue in 2014's December issue. A bonus distribution here for the Canadian Renewable Fuels Summit rounds out our year. Again, if you look at the month, you'll hopefully see, what I hope that you see from this, is that we've made a concerted effort to put subjects, topics together over the course of 12 months that, taken collectively, assure that everybody at that facility has a month that really resonates with them, that yes, I'm the EHS professional at Corn Plus in Winnipeg, I am absolutely going to read the December issue of Ethanol Producer Magazine, or I'm the Distillers Grains marketer for Corn Plus in Winnebago, I absolutely am going to read that issue on Distillers Grains. So with that said, I'm happy to turn the call back over to John Nelson, Marketing Director here at BDI International, for just a few closing thoughts. John?
Thank you, Tim. Appreciate all the comprehensive information you shared. Now, what we want to do is exclusively for attendees of this webinar, we'd like to offer a 20% savings on one full or half-page print advertisement. Again, this is exclusive only to today's attendees of the webinar, and it does expire January 1st, so definitely contact us and take advantage of this savings. Now, to take advantage of it, you can contact us at service@bbiinternational.com or call us at 866-746-8385. Tim, any last words?
None from me, John. I'd like to just, I suppose, close by thanking people one more time. And again, if you have any questions, please reach out to an account representative or reach out to us at service@bbiinternational.com. And with that, we'll conclude today's webinar. Thanks, everyone, for joining. Have a great day.